Hello guys and welcome back to another episode of our EAFC 25 career mode here, of course now with Bayern Munich, where in the previous episode we closed out the summer transfer window, where of course there's been major moves made at Bayern Munich with almost £450 million spent on new arrivals. So it's been a pretty crazy window. Today we're going to be kicking it on with more gameplay as we crack on into the new season, of course season 6 of the save. But before we get there, we should have seen the Champions League draw for the upcoming season. I just want to say as well, guys, before we check out the draw, my voice, I apologise, it has deteriorated over the last week or so. It's only just on the mend, so this episode will be a little bit calmer, a little bit more relaxed, as I am still trying to rest my voice. But let's take a look at the draw, where Bayern Munich, wow, that is some tough fixtures there. LASK Linsk at home, Villarreal, who we faced in the semi-finals with Southampton last year away, Barcelona at home, Benfica away, a trip back to England to take on Newcastle, Napoli, who were the only team to take points off us in the league phase last year, Real Madrid away from home at the Bernabeu, and Arsenal at home as well. So that's going to be a really tough group stage, and we might be lucky just to qualify for the round of 32 with those fixtures. That's incredibly difficult. Yeah, it does look like some of those fixtures may actually have been incorrect, whether they were home or away, but you should have just seen in the calendar where the fixtures are. But I just want to quickly spend a bit of time looking at our tactic that I've got set up. Not really gone through it in this save as we have been focusing more on the transfer window, and it has changed slightly now that we are at Bayern Munich. We are still adopting the 4-2-3-1, which I know we used at Southampton, but it's a system that Bayern Munich have used for years, decades really, so I don't really want to move away from that too much. We are playing on a counter-attacking build-up style, and our defensive approach is aggressive, so we do hold quite a high line. But as for the player roles, we've got Sembacher as an advanced forward rather than, I think we used a poacher when we had Marcus Leonardo. Musiala as a shadow striker, who's so important at scoring those goals, so I want him to get as close to our number 9 as possible. On the left, we've got Federico Luna as a wide midfielder, so just staying wide on that side. And on the right, we've got Michael Elise as an inside forward, so cutting in on that left foot of his. The two midfielders, we've got James Mensah holding, which is the same role as Yusuf and Diashime in our Southampton team, but this lad, James Mensah, is just perfect for that. And then Kovacevic, I'd like to have him as a box-to-box, but you can't actually have a box-to-box as a CDM. They have to be a centre mid. So if any of you guys can tell me how I can change this to a box-to-box, that would be really helpful. We've then got Davis and Sacha Boey both as wing-backs on either side. Inacio as a ball-playing defender due to how good he is playing out from the back. And Maya as a younger defender, more of a no-nonsense centre-back on just the defender player role. And of course Schumacher, we've just got him on goalkeeper at the moment. We could potentially change him to sweeper keeper once he has learnt that role, as he is sort of the Manuel Neuer regen, and Neuer was sort of the original sweeper keeper. But that is how the team is lined up. Of course the personnel can always change, but so far it has worked pretty well with 2 wins from 2 in the Bundesliga. We did lose the German Super Cup final to Dortmund on penalties, but I'm not too fussed with that, and they will be our next opponent today as we take on Nuri Sahin's side once again. It's been a good start, as I say, 2 back-to-back 1-0 victories for Bayern Munich, and we are looking for another here to make it 3 from 3. Again, guys, you'll have to let me know how my German is, as I'm not sure I'm pronouncing this right, but Auf geht's die Rotten. Yeah, this is a big game for us here in just match day 3 of the new season. Technically our second Der Klassiker, but of course the first one came in the German Super Cup, and we did lose it on the spot kicks, but it was 0-0 in the 90 minutes, the regulation time. So be interesting to see how we get on today. Our first real competitive game against Dortmund, and as I say, we've got off to a really good start. 2 wins from 2, both to a goal to nil, but 2 clean sheets so far. And yeah, good to get our new number 9 Sem Bakker on the score sheet in our previous game against Heidenheim. So hopefully we can get another 3 points on the board, but I would certainly take another point here. Mensah, he is an absolute unit in game, by the way. Looks as if Michael Elise might have picked up a little knock here. Hoping that's nothing too serious, as he does get up from that challenge. Elise to Mensah, back to Michael Elise. Referee waves play on. Elise to Musiala on the edge, and there is Sem Bakker on the left foot. Oh, it's off the post. Kovacevic into Mensah. Dortmund with a player down, but I'm playing on for now. Luna attacking the space. Still Luna, lovely feet, and Sem Bakker right on the stroke of the break. This time his effort does find the back of the net, and I am really, really excited about the future of this man, Sem Bakker. He looks a real steal coming in from Roma. Luna's first assist down that left-hand side as well, and Bayern Munich have the breakthrough right before the half-time interval. Well, it was one Sem during our time on the south coast who really ran the show, as Ronnie makes a good save with Sem Stein. You could put a strong case forward for him being the most important and influential player that we had at Southampton. And another Sem here by the name Bakker, another Dutch player. Looks as if he could be the new star of the save. I really do think he's going to be a fantastic pickup from Roma. And of course, we've still not had a player win a golden boot throughout the course of this save. Maybe Sem Bakker during our time here at Bayern could be that man, as Musiala looks to pull it across and then has his header saved by Gregor Kobel. Only 5 to play here. Still, we lead by 1 in what has been quite a quiet opener to today's episode. And that is going to do it here at the Allianz. And for the 3rd game in a row, it is a 1-0 victory for Bayern Munich. Not particularly free scoring yet in our opening few games with our new club, but that's been an issue for me throughout the entire of FC 25. But it's defensively where I have really excelled throughout the course of this save, of course, especially last year with Southampton setting a new defensive record. And so far with Bayern Munich, it's 3 games, 3 clean sheets and 3 1-0 victories. Well, this is where it's going to be a real test of the squad we've built over our first summer transfer window, as the Champions League kicks off once again. We're going to have 8 league phase fixtures, and of course they come in midweek with Bundesliga games on the weekend. So as I say, it will be a test of the squad we've built and not just the players that we've brought in. And our first game in the Champions League with our new club sees us returning to England, a trip to the capital as we take on Mikel Arteta's Arsenal at the Emirates Stadium. It's been a great start to life in Germany with 3 wins from 3, and I'd love to kick off the Champions League campaign with another 3 points. Auf geht's die Rotten. Reimer forward to Sasha, and Musiala's on the move. It's great movement. Jamal Musiala, big save Costa, and Bakker can't quite get there, and it's not claimed by Costa, who has to put it into touch. That was a lovely bit of movement by Jamal Musiala, just waited and then spun in behind, and Neto's done well there. Sasha Boe down the right. Sasha Boe looks to dink that in for Sem. Neto, that's a lovely little flick, and Musiala will let fly, and Costa gets good gloves on it. Rojas gets there first, and Uzun forward to Marquez, the substitute. Still Marquez. Lifts it for Pedro Neto, and his shot is blocked. It's back to Marquez, and we couldn't quite squeeze it through, and that might just about do it here in North London. Been a really tricky game in rainy conditions. And to be honest, in these games, quite often the best you can hope for is nicking a 1-0 win or a 0-0 draw. Not a terrible result against another of Europe's top sides in the Champions League. And I'll take a point on match day 1, especially away from home. Well, despite our good start in the Bundesliga, there are another 3 sides who are matching our record with 100% win ratios. But our next game against Eintracht Frankfurt away from home, a tricky test, taking on a side that we did some business with in the summer transfer window. Of course, Ethan Nwaneri and Molina both heading to Frankfurt in this summer window. They've had a decent start, 3 games played, 2 wins and a draw, and sit just below us in the league table. But again, like every game, we're looking for another 3 points on the board. Auf geht's, die rotten. Lise down the right, look at the space for Jamal Musiala. Time to line it up, big save, and Sembaka right on cue. Just 4 minutes into the game, on hand to tap home the rebound. A quick start from Bayern Munich. Musiala didn't really get hold of the shot, but Sembaka, as a proper number 9, a fox in the box, on hand just to roll it into the empty net. What a start for Bayern Munich. Great defending by Mensah over on that right hand side. Elise spins and holds off his man, and we are slicing through at the moment. Musiala picks out Michael Elise, and he gets his first of the season. And it's taken us just 15 minutes, and finally we have more than 1 goal in a game. Jamal Musiala at the heart of everything, and Elise with a brilliant finish to double our advantage. We are completely running riot here. Given away again, and Elise slides through Baka, and this is a chance for 3. Baka, big save, and Elise, no, it's Musiala, sorry, drills in the 3rd on the weaker left foot. What is going on here in Frankfurt? The home side completely stumbling out of the blocks. Bayern Munich have 3. And we've only played 21 minutes here. This is more like it from Bayern Munich. Well, it's all over here in Frankfurt. All the damage done in that first 45, with 3 goals being scored in the opening 22 minutes. And we took our foot off the gas a bit in the second half, but Frankfurt did, to be fair to them, tighten up a little bit. And what's surprising about that result is the fact that we had such a difficult time against them when we were at Southampton. Faced them twice in the Champions League and had really tricky 2-legged affairs on both occasions. But here we absolutely ran them riot. Well, just keeping the games rolling in today's episode, and we'll jump into our next one, returning to the Allianz Arena to take on VfL Wolfsburg. Having a decent start to the season, sat in 8th place, but at the moment it is RB Leipzig who are the team to catch, flying out of the blocks with 5 wins from 5. The only team left with a 100% record other than ourselves. And of course, a win for us here will see us go top of the Bundesliga table for the first time this season. So looking for a big victory, once again returning back home in front of our home crowd. Auf geht's, die rotten. Yeah, I mean, it's obviously been a fantastic start to the season, but you know, we saw this plenty of times during our tenure at Southampton. We would quite often start really well, and you get that form train rolling, and it feels like you're never going to lose, and then all of a sudden you get that first loss, and you really start to struggle. So I'm not getting too far ahead of myself. Yes, it's been a great start. We're in a different league, but yeah, I'm not thinking too much about it at the moment. Still very, very early stages, but I have to say we have looked very, very good in our first 4 Bundesliga games of the season. This is a great run by Luna down the left. He's looking like a real bright spark in this team, and he pegs it across for who else but Sembaka, who gets goal number, I think that is 3 or maybe even 4 of the season. I think that's goal 4. And I've said it about this guy before. I think he could be the real star of our time at the Allianz. Brilliant from Luna, who gets another assist, and Sembaka on hand to find the back of the net. I have to say I've been really impressed with the young lads in this team. James Mensah and Meyer at centre back, looking really good as Baka rolls in his second of the game. This kid, man, he is a special talent. Sembaka, early days, but he is going for that first golden boot at the save, and I think we found ourselves a real gem here. I'm falling in love with this kid already. You guys that have been watching for a while will know that I love my my sort of nicknames for players. We've already got Merlin the Magician in the team, but there's sort of a terrible one for Sembaka, the sensational talent. It's so bad I actually don't want to put that in the video, but I am going to. Elise driving at that Wolfsburg defence. Skips away from his man. Lovely feet by Elise. And brought down. And that will give our sensational talent backer the chance for the hat-trick. We had a good record with Marcus Leonardo at Southampton. And Sembaka will have the chance. He's got decent stats for it. And Sembaka, looking for the hat-trick, does send it in to the roof of the net. Our first match ball for our number 9 since moving to Germany, and I think it might be the first of many. A confident penalty into that top corner, and the points are certainly wrapped up now. Oh, Marquez, that's lovely. Still waiting to get the Argentine his first goal, and it might come here. Marquez racing through and slamming home his first. Maybe not his first for the club, as he was out on loan last year, but I suppose at 17 years of age, it's likely that that is his first in Bayern Munich colours. The 17-year-old has a real future ahead of him, and great to see him off the mark, just off the bench for Baka, and now grabbing his first goal for the club. You love to see it, man. Well, there is the whistle here at the Allianz Arena, and a really comprehensive victory for Bayern. That's 2 back-to-back really convincing wins after the 3-0 win against Frankfurt in the previous game. Marquez rounds off the game with his first goal for the club, but it was Sembaka claiming the match ball who really stole the show. Really solid performance from Bayern. Well, nice to see a few players in the Bundesliga Team of the Week as we do head to the top of the table. Still yet to concede, but not runaway leaders at the moment, with RB Leipzig joining us with 100% records. But our attention turning to the Champions League once again, taking on Villarreal, who of course we faced last year in the semi-finals with Southampton. Back at home at the Allianz Arena, so hoping to get 3 points on the board in what is one of probably our easier games in the league phase. That tells you how hard our fixtures are. Auf geht's, die rotten. Yeah, another team here that we have a bit of history with after that UCL semi-final last year with Southampton, and similarly to Frankfurt, those games were really tightly contested, and of course we won it pretty late on through Elliot Cole. This is a great run by Sacha Boey, and I'm not sure who that came off last. It is a corner, but yeah, really tight game against Villarreal. Corners into Inacio, and I think that's dropped behind for another corner kick, as Neto will swing that in from the other side, looking for Inacio. Heads go up and Villarreal clear. Promising start this from Bayern Munich. Oh, it's a lovely ball through, and Eric Dyer's not got the pace to get back. Oskarsson goes on and drills in the opening goal. And with how solid Villarreal were last season when we faced them in that semi-final, it's going to be difficult to get back into this. Beat Schumacher at the near post, which is disappointing with the frame of the big man at 6'7", but he just took a step to his left anticipating the shot, and Ori Oskarsson drills it in at the near post to give the Spaniards the lead. And a chance to swing this into the middle. Vidovic, lovely ball. Musiala, oh, it's a sitter. Jamal Musiala, the captain, should have equalised. Lovely ball in by Vidovic, and he's just falling over there, Musiala. I'm not sure why, because he's got all the time in the world, but he stoops and heads over the top in what is a glorious chance to level the scores. Boe down the right-hand side. Waits for the run of Sem Bakker, who gets there first and uses his body well. Does Sem. We've not really been able to get him into the game. There is Musiala. Musiala onto his left peg. Jamal Musiala! Right on the stroke of half-time. Gets us back on level terms. Missed a great opportunity with his head earlier on. But this time on the weaker left foot. Just gets half a yard away from the defender and drills it in past Da Costa to get us back on terms just before the break. Fonzie forward to Vidovic, who has looked decent out on this left-hand side. Vidovic into Sem Bakker. Lovely turn. Bakker! Lovely feet by the Dutchman. And Sem Bakker, you cannot keep this guy from scoring. He's on fantastic, or in fantastic form to kick off this campaign. And our number 9 does it again to complete the turnaround at the Allianz. Well, this is almost it as Villarreal go in the hunt of an equaliser, but I think the clock is going to run out on them. Vidovic brings it away down the left-hand side, and that is going to do it. Vidovic looking to add a third here. Still Vidovic, and now Uzun looks to get it onto his right foot and does drill in the third goal that will seal the victory for Bayern Munich. A big 3 points on the board after being held to a draw in North London. We needed that one. We've got a tricky set of fixtures, and after falling a goal behind here, we needed a response to turn this game on his head. Uzun gets his first goal of the season, and Bayern Munich pick up another 3 points this season. Well, a good win in the Champions League, and we will keep the games rolling as we're in such good form. RB Leipzig have won again to make it 6 from 6 to move themselves 3 points clear at the top. So taking on Augsburg at home at the Allianz here, struggling down in the relegation playoff place with just 3 points on the board. This has to be another 3 points. Auf geht's, die Rotten. Yeah, this should hopefully be a comfortable win, especially with the form we've been in as a team, and especially Sem Bakker and Jamal Musiala. Those two have been in fine form, and Musiala off the back of winning the Player of the Month award as well. I definitely think this should be another nice, comfortable win for us, unlike in the previous game where we really had to fight for it. Ignacio driving forward and finds Musiala, and I can't touch him now in the penalty area. Musiala pegged back for Sem, and that's a really important save by the Augsburg keeper. Well, first 45 has been and gone, and Augsburg have really frustrated us so far. We had the one chance pretty early on for Sem Bakker, which was saved by Mark Flecken. But other than that, we have not created anything, and Augsburg have defended really, really well. But there could be a bit of space down this left side now for Luna. And Federico already has a few assists to his name. Looks to peg it back into Bakker. Ronnie's come a long way for that and not got there. And we're in trouble. Oh my goodness. And Augsburg, from out of nowhere, take the lead. What a terrible goal to give away. And Johnny Burkhart says thank you very much to Ronnie Schumacher. Came a long way, didn't get there. And with the goal open, Johnny Burkhart fires it in to the open net to give Augsburg the lead. Now we're not just looking for a goal to win it, but a goal to save us a point. Rojas into Chan, and Rojas, and Rojas, and Marquez! And we will rescue a late point. Sorry guys, my throat cannot cope. Alberto Marquez to the rescue right at the death, and Rojas, who looked dangerous off the bench, slid through by Lima, all the subs linking up, and it's Marquez off the bench making it 2-2. I trust this young man. If it's not coming off for Sem Baka, I trust this man to come on and make a difference. And after he scored in his previous appearance, he gets on the score sheet in back-to-back games in the Bundesliga as we rescue a point here at the Allianz against Augsburg. Still should be disappointed with the fact that we've not claimed all 3 points for the first time this season, but we'll have to take our last-minute equaliser and take the point. Well, I think we'll play one more with us dropping points there and dropping to second place. RB Leipzig face Bayer Leverkusen in match day 7. So depending on the result there, we could be top to close the episode. But we travel to the Veltins Arena to take on Schalke before their game. So we could potentially move top for 24 hours with a win here. Auf geht's, die Rotten. Yeah, need to make sure that we end today's episode off with a win here after dropping points against Augsburg, and that's what I meant about form earlier on in the episode. Everything feels like it's going your way, and then all of a sudden things start to turn. We need to make sure we don't allow that to happen here, and make sure we get back on the winning wagon here as Rashford does really well, and Elise hits one. His shot blocked. It's back with Musiala. And Sem on the turn, brilliantly done, and Sem Baka fires us into the lead. I'm sorry guys, I know that skill move is so overpowered, but I can't help but use it sometimes. Sem Baka back on the score sheet after firing a blank against Augsburg, beats the defender and drills it into the back of the net on the weaker right foot. Musiala. Oh, lovely ball into Baka and a lovely flick to Elise. And Sem Baka showing that he can do everything. He's not just a goal scorer, but an all-round number 9. That's a beautiful goal. And 3 of our front 4 all involved there. Musiala into Baka. And the flick into Elise is fantastic. And Elise drills in his 2nd goal of the season to double our lead. That should be the points in the bag from here. Mensah through the gap to Elise. Takes the ball nicely in his stride and now finds Sasha Boe. Dinks that into Musiala at the back post, and that's a great stop as we look to make it 3. I think I'm going to make some changes with clash in midweek against Barcelona to come, but that would have been a lovely goal from Jamal Musiala had we finished it off. Udun wins it back, lifts it for Armando Sieb off the bench. Armando! First appearance of the season. And he's only really here for the homegrown squad registration ruling, but he's a decent option to have. And Marquez was a little bit tired to make the bench, so I gave Armando the opportunity, and he's been called upon and takes his chance as well. Drills in the 3rd, and that will be the icing on the cake for Bayern Munich. A really nice win away at the Veltins Arena, and exactly what we needed after the disappointing draw against Augsburg. We will go top for at least 24 hours, but I want to see what the outcome of the result between RB Leipzig and Bayer Leverkusen is to see if we will be remaining there. Well, you can see the result there, guys, in the bottom left. RB Leipzig did win by 2-1, so inflicted Bayer Leverkusen's first defeat of the season. They are absolutely flying to kick off the campaign and remain the only side with a 100% record. We, of course, are still unbeaten, and the only game that we've not won is the draw against Augsburg, which is also the only game we've conceded in. I do find it so easy to keep clean sheets, but 2 points behind RB Leipzig, so all those clean sheets don't have us top of the table, and of course there is still lots of work to be done in the remainder of the season. But that will do it for today's video, guys. I apologize for my voice. I've got a few more episodes to record until it is back to normal, but I hope it's not been too bad for you guys, and we'll be back in the next episode with more big games in the Bundesliga and the Champions League. I'll catch you for that very soon. Take care, guys, and peace.